Good morning. It is Monday morning, and we're at home today. The church office is closed, and we're just kind of waiting on giving the community a chance to plow us out. Excuse me. And then we can be back on the job tomorrow. So if you need us, we're working at home today. We read from Matthew 27:27 through 31 today. Then the soldiers of the governor took Jesus into the governor's headquarters, and they gathered the whole battalion before him. And they stripped him and put a scarlet robe on him, and twisting together a crown of thorns, they put it on his head and put a reed in his right hand. And kneeling before him, they mocked him, saying, "Hail, King of the Jews!" And they spit on him and took the reed and struck him on the head. And when they'd mocked him, they stripped him of the robe and put his own clothes on him and led him away to crucify him. It's interesting to me that the Roman soldiers are the ones who mock Jesus as the king and say, you're the king of the Jews. There's several things about this. They've just finished scourging him, so he's got significant lacerations from probably around his knees to his neck, all up and down the back of his body, the sides of his body, where they've whipped him, and the whip has pulled off chunks of his body. So he's bleeding terribly. And yet they put this robe on him, scarlet robe, which is, of course, the color of a king's robe. They force a crown of thorns on his head. Now, when I was a little kid, thorns were these tiny things that you got, stickers. You got into the sticker bushes, and ow, that hurts. And then we moved to a place where there was a tree in the backyard, and the thorns were about that long. They were big things. And if you took something from that tree and wrapped it up, made a crown with it, and jammed it down on your head, you'd have these big long thorns that would, they wouldn't go through your skull, but obviously they would tear up all of your scalp. And that skin is very thin and bleeds profusely when it's cut. So you would have all this blood in his face and everything. So that would be disconcerting for anyone, but so painful and bleeding, and he's already beaten and bleeding. Terrible sorts of punishments just adding up. And then, of course, they mock him as King of the Jews. Well, he's not really the physical king of the Jews, but he's the ultimate king of all of us. And so that hurts us to some extent. They beat him with this reed. It says they struck they struck him on the head. How this is humiliation more than it is physical punishment, though it does hurt physically. And then from there, they lead him out to crucify him. So the humiliation sometimes is the thing that we don't like. You can deal with an issue and the consequences of an issue, but please don't tell the world about this. Please don't humiliate me in front of my peers and family or friends. Can we just do this quietly? I think a lot of people have that sort of attitude. And Jesus, so he's publicly humiliated in front of the whole battalion of soldiers. So, however many that would be, I'm going to guess a couple of hundred, but that's only a guess. And then he's led away to be crucified, which of course is the ultimate humiliation for Jesus and the ultimate humiliating way to kill somebody. And we'll talk about that tomorrow, I guess, or maybe the next day we'll get him to the cross. But for today, think about those soldiers and their mocking Jesus. Have you ever been with a crowd of people who start mocking somebody? It's easy to join in, isn't it? It's easy to say, "Oh yeah, I don't like that guy," and pile on. And so it would be easy to, if you were with a crowd of people who were mocking Jesus, say, it'd be easy to join in because you don't want them to turn around and attack you. So our instincts of self-preservation sometimes lead us into this sort of thing. So let's stay with Jesus. He's going to be walking the road from Jerusalem out to the hill of Calvary tomorrow, and then crucified. And so we'll be there with him, and we will see you Tuesday morning. Have a great snowy day.